Houston, Texas is the energy, aka oil capital of the world, as well as home to the largest aerospace administration on the planet. Both industries have their challenges to overcome in the most unlikely of relationships, where outer space meets inner space.
Houston, we have a problem.
My first space shuttle flight was in 1985.
And since we've retired Space Shuttle and space station assembly is complete,
there's only one way the U.S. astronaut gets into space right now, and that's the Russian Soyuz vehicle, which was basically the same vehicle they flew back in the 1960s.
So what we're doing for the benefit of NASA and the taxpayer, we're bringing in external customers.
But the oil and gas industry is probably unprecedented in terms of truly pushing the envelope of technology.
Particularly offshore subsea operations. And these two industries have grown up independently. They've never really compared notes or utilized each other's capabilities. So now what we're doing is we're trying to get those industries together to utilize each other's resources.
There are a lot of similarities when I start looking at some of the projects we have on the moon and in space, and you look at the subsea inner space.
It really brings home to me the extreme nature of oil exploration and oil drilling these days. You know, like drilling for oil in outer space. Most of the easy oil, easily accessible oil has gone.
Got outer space, which these guys train for, and inner space, which is actually more demanding. The environment is even harsher than space.
When we're on orbit, we're 130 nautical miles up in the vacuum of space. Offshore, you're working in 5,000 to 10,000 feet of salt water.
And now we're heading to 15,000.
Yeah, it's a very, very challenging environment.
If you're at the top of the Empire State Building, this would go out and be wider than the city of Houston on the bottom. It's like trying to vacuum the lobby of the Empire State Building from the top floor.
This facility was primarily built for the assembly of the International Space Station. With that task being complete, we've actually gone out and talked with private industries to see how they could come in and utilize this unique national asset.
We have all the oil rig workers doing their training down there. We have the ROVs coming in, so it's exciting.
Here in Houston, the energy capital of the world, we're talking gas and oil in the Gulf of Mexico. One of the things that they give at the NBL is the ability to do what they call system integrated testing. They may be working in as deep as 17,000 feet of water, and that is not a place where you want to find out that what you were doing isn't exactly going to work.
BP is responsible for this horrific disaster. We will hold them fully accountable on behalf of the United States.
Case in point on the BP oil spill. First thing is anticipating and solving the problems before they occur. NASA's been doing that for years, trying to anticipate anything that can go wrong. We do the same thing in the oil industry.
Failure is not an option. So in other words, the outcomes that we train to are of life and death. And so the logical choice for NASA was to attract industries that shared that idea of high consequence.
When you look at exploring inner space and exploring outer space, we're both pushing the envelope.
It's just like astronauts were practicing here before outer space. We can practice here before we go to the inner space. I would be delighted to know I have rocket scientists helping resolve those issues.
It's a great fit for those guys.